All right, so we're gonna get some data from a form in a bot composer. So I'm not gonna build this from scratch, but I'm gonna try to explain what this bot is doing. So at the beginning, I'm gonna have this welcome to our clinic bot message, but you're gonna have these other options. Hey, welcome back to our bot. Hello there. This is our clinic bot. So it's going to iterate throughout these three options. So randomly, it's just gonna choose one of those and it'll display as a message. Okay, after that first option, we're going to get this uh, prompt for text option. This is going to have this flow here. So you're just gonna open this, ask a question, and in this scenario, I'm just gonna have this text option. So notice that is the same, and it's gonna allow you to have a user input. So I'm just gonna get rid of this. And inside this prompt for text option, I'm going to have my adaptive card. So I'm gonna have my adaptive card here. So here's all the code. And I'm getting this code from the official website for that. So let me just come here. I'm gonna go to adaptivecars.io/designer, and I designed this form. It's just a simple form. So it's gonna get me the first name and the last name, and then I'm gonna have some sort of a button here, and that's it. So I have all the code here. If it doesn't work with 1.6, just try with 1.3, okay, for bot composer. Okay, and so there's another video in my channel where it describes how to build these forms and some other options. But the idea of this video is pretty much to tell the bot to get me this data. So there's one secret for that. I'm gonna have to go to first name here. So if I scroll down, I'm gonna have this option here for the input that text, right? So this option is gonna be this first box, and the second one it's related to the last name. It's gonna be this one. So in order to get data, you're gonna have to assign an ID. Okay, so if you don't do it, then you're not gonna be able to get those values. So I'm gonna have text one and text two. So for your form, you should have a better name, right? For this one, probably first name ID or something like that, last name ID here, and that's it. So we're gonna go back to bot composer and we're gonna see what's going on. So remember this text one, text two. So let's just go back to bot composer. I'm gonna have my form here. So this is basically all the code that I copied and paste from the website that I show you right here. And this is going to render my adaptive card. So I'm gonna run the bot later and I'll show you the form. Okay, so after I got my input for first name and last name, I'm gonna set properties. So the first one, I'm just gonna set it here under the user input text. So my property is going to be user dot first name one. I mean, it could be just first name, whatever name you want here. So user dot and whatever name you want, okay? And then, because I already have a last name, I'm gonna have this user last name, okay? So let's just change this to only name. Okay. Okay, so I already kind of set a variable for the first name and the last name here. So what I'm gonna do now is to assign this value equal to turn that activity, that value, that text one. So remember this text one from the form. So this is going to be my ID. So that's how Bot Composer gets something from a form. And if I come here to this other property, I'm gonna do this. Turn that activity, that value, and then I'm gonna have my second ID here. So I'm telling Bot Composer to get this ID. That's the whole idea, okay? And then I kind of assign a variable, and that's it. Okay, so I have two variables here. So imagine that you have a form with five values, address, a zip code, and I don't know, date of birth. So for those options, you're gonna set more variables here. So you're gonna click on add new, but you're gonna do the same. So go to the form, check the ID, give it a name, and that's it. Okay, let's see. If we scroll down here, I'm just gonna show a message just to prove that I'm getting the values from the form. So it says your request was submitted, and then this is the syntax that you have to use in order to embed values from these forms. So dollar sign, then curly brackets, and then your variable. So in this case, is user first name. Remember that we got rid of the number one, so I'm just going to delete that. So I'm gonna say your request was submitted. So thank you, and then your first name, and then let's do some sort of I don't know, a dash or something like that, and then user last name, and then exclamation here. Okay, that's it. So that's pretty much everything. So let's try to run the bot now, and let's see if we're actually capturing the values from the form. So I'll create another video about getting those values and sending those values through an API. So that's actually a better example, like a more realistic example. So imagine that you have this form, and then you're gonna trigger a GET request. So you're gonna send this to a database through an API. So for that example, we're gonna use something similar than all that we discussed in this video. So first name, I'm gonna say, I don't know, Alex, and then here, I don't know, let's whatever, Boo. So I'm going to submit this, and then you'll see your request was submitted. Thank you, Alex Boo. Okay, so that's basically getting the values from the form. Let's try to restart a conversation. Let's do something different here. Let's do, I don't know, let's do Kelly, I don't know, writes. Then I'm gonna click on submit, and you'll see your request was submitted. Thank you, and then the name of the person here. So we're actually proving that we store this value and we can render or do whatever we want with that value here. Okay, so let me just close this. And that's pretty much everything for today. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next video.